Thank you for supporting Heart City Church in supporting 95 children at Pfunani Life Care Centre in Welverdiend. I'm hoping to make it clear how the Hands at Work model works. And the model was declared a world best practice by USAID. So just going to show you where it's located. You see that marker on the map. Pfunani is located in the Welverdiend district in the northeastern part of South Africa, up there near the border of Mozambique, where a lot of refugees made their way down across and ended up in the district of Welverdiend. So this is a map of the Welverdiend area, and it's giving you an idea. It's about 5 kilometres or 6 kilometres across and 6 kilometres up. Apparently over 1,000 students attend the local senior high school, so it's quite a big area. And the Life Care Centre is located in the centre of that. It's in the actual community, and you can see here some of the things that they do. You know, they've got very basic facilities. They have the 3 essential services, and they have time to play, and then they have holy home villas. So this is Pfunani, the building in the Welverdiend district, Pfunani HCC, which means home-based care. And these children are orphans. It's not an orphanage. They don't live here. They walk here after they've been to school. And you can see, the children here walking. And some of them have to walk, quite a long way. But they all have homes, and they have someone caring for them in the home. In this picture, we have the care workers who live in the local area. There's 7 of them, but it also includes the support carers that travel to Pfunani. They live in another district, and they oversee 4 other life care centres. You can see them wearing their aprons, nice and colourful, which my group made, and they really loved them. The name Pfunani means helping others. And that's what they do. They're helped by the care workers. One of those is a mother on the left hand side there. She is being helped by the carers, and then we also do home visits. This is a home visit, and they go there and they encourage them and help them, and organise training and things like that. In these next pictures, we see one of the 3 essential services, which is food. It's Luke cooking the food in the kitchen. You see the food being served there. There they are eating the food, and look at that, washing up his plate. Isn't that amazing? I love these oranges. They definitely organised these oranges, and they absolutely loved them. And this is a time of play. Yeah, so they really they can come to the centre, and they get fed, they get looked after, they have a time to play, they get some special attention. The young ladies getting their nails painted by Nora, and then you got Nora, spending some time with the young kids there, and that's what they do. They really get loved and cared for. They have there's Thembi reading, telling them a Bible story. Then the younger kids are in a room singing a song and having fun, dancing. And this is Flower, and this was a wow moment for me. This meeting this young lady and seeing her, she was surrounded by a load of kids, and what she was doing, she had a file in her hand. She was ticking off the names. And when I heard her story, she'd been attending for about 10 years. And for me, this was a proof that the model works. You know, she's been looked after, cared for, and now she's helping others. My thoughts about Africa have completely changed. I was fearful of going at first because all I ever heard about Africa was the pain, suffering, violence and oppression. But since visiting, I've seen a different Africa. I've seen the colour, the joy of those who have very little, the African dance, the African countryside, and a model that is working. You know, just look at those. They're just having fun. And it was just so fantastic to be a part of it. It's a picture of Daphne with one of the local care workers, and you know, it's because of Daphne that we are involved in Hands at Work in Africa, and we certainly thank her so much for that. And I had the pleasure of catching up with Daphne, and I've recorded some of her stories, so here we go. So we're just here with Daphne, and we're looking at some pictures of our trip to Africa 4 years ago.
Smile.
Yeah, I'm trying to change the pictures, which I just picked a few. But our kids have eaten, and then they get together and they have a little talk.
That's right. It's good now they've got the kitchen up.
Yes.
Well, we call it kitchen.
Yeah. That's for them. It's luxury.
Yeah.
And of course, that there. This is where the gates, where you come in and you go out.
Oh yes.
Because the Life Centre is in the community somewhere. You know, all the kids, they walk to it from their
schools.
From their school, and then when they leave here, they walk home.
Yeah, that's right.
And you know, and you can end up in any. How far did some of the kids walk to get there, do you think?
Well, do you remember one day we went for a visit near to what they call the high school? We actually walked to this house. There was a girl, her clothes were too tight on her, and I don't know if she was pregnant or what, but we actually went to visit, you know, it was home visits. We walked and we walked and we walked. They walk quite slowly, of course, so the distance wouldn't be long, but you know, it's hot. Sort of on the outskirts. And then I said, what's that building over there? And they said, oh, there's about 1,000 kids or something. It's the high school. And I went, you see these kids around and you don't actually realise it's actually quite a big place.
Yeah.
And that's... what was the question?
How
well, I was
quite far from...
yeah.
Well, it would be,
what I was making my point is, it's not an orphanage. These kids, you know, they come here to get fed.
Yeah, that's it.
And they sing a song.
Yes,
they pray. They play games.
Yeah, they teach them to pray.
And you know, and then
they go home, or they go to where they live.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's a place where they get loved and cared, and they get something to eat.
They keep sort of they tick off. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
they tick off,
don't they?
All the kids, and then the ones that didn't turn up, then whoever's responsible, they go and check up on them. So
yeah.
No, but remember, she waved to us one day. She was bringing one of the little ones near the gate. She was bringing her through to, you know, to have something to eat. And you stopped the van and said, does she want a lift? And she'd never been in a...
That's right, I remember
She'd
that.
never been in a vehicle before.
Her face went from here to there.
She was just that short distance. She sat on one of the eskies, I think.
Yeah, just inside the door.
Just inside the door, And it was the best thing in her whole life.
She'd never done that ever.
She'd never been in a vehicle, and oh my gosh.
No, I remember that.
I remember that. I remember
she didn't
such
know
a
where.
pretty girl too.
She just thought that, and we were like, oh my
She was very pretty.
here we are, you know.
Yeah.
We need the luxury, we need our own bed, and
She never even stepped in a car
yeah.
all her life. She's never been in a moving vehicle.
Anyway, I just wanted to. I just picked out a few. I know we've got many more, and I mean we also. I mean, the three of us and Sinead, the four of us, we went on to Kruger Park for.
Oh, that
3
was
days,
wonderful, yeah.
and
The monkey bitch jaw.
we just had
Bitch jaw ice cream.
we had such a lovely time, and I just
Yeah, everything about it was just so good, wasn't it?
it was very precious. But we wouldn't have gone there, Daphne, if it wasn't for your
Inspiration.
your
Yeah,
passion,
you need the passion.
your love for the children.
Well,
and
you don't
also
really know
for
what it's really like unless you've been. You can't tell people, can you?
how many times have
you
you?
can't.
You've been quite a few times, haven't you?
Oh,
I have.
Daddy's been a long time, haven't you?
Yeah, I used to go year after year,
Yeah.
but not while my husband, because my husband was in a nursing home, so it was always two or 3 weeks. I'd spend 2 weeks there, and then go and see my brother in Cape Town. So it would be, you know, it was a big sacrifice. My son would have to go and see that his father's okay in the nursing home. It wasn't easy, and financially it wasn't easy either, because...
No, you only had your wage.
That's right, but I used to save up every year, and you know, it used to cost... It actually costs probably the same now, probably going there, you know, doing at least 2 weeks, and then... Most people want to see a bit of the Kruger, you know, that costs a bit of money.
Yeah, well, because
But
Kruger Park is right there.
It's right there. So people, even if they just spend a weekend there, but if you add all the costs, you can do it for $3,000.
Yeah.
Which does sound a fortune, but what you get out of it yourself,
It's a lot more.
Yeah.
and that pays for your accommodation. I mean, they charge, I think, $10 a night at Hands at Work Village.
Yeah.
And the food, you know, we kept it down to the minimum. We did have a few splash outs there of, you know,
But
all
that
of
was
us
only-
got together.
Yeah,
But
but when that's right when the group got
But
together.
you know, when you talk about missions, I mean, I've known, even at our church, some lovely lady said to Peter, Pastor Peter, that she wants to go on the missions trip. And the first thing he said to her was, what have you done towards going? You know, have you started saving some money? And she went, oh, you have to pay your own way if you go on a missions trip. You've got to pay your airfare. That's the biggest spot. The biggest thing is your airfare. It's $2,000. The other $1,000 is going to get you there for 2 or 3 weeks because it doesn't cost much. So you have to prepare yourself.
Yeah.
You can't just say, I've got a passion for...
Yeah, but
And we're currently, sponsoring 95 children.
I know, I can't believe it. I think it's absolutely wonderful. But it's been 21 years since I first went.
21 years.
yeah.
Wow.
The first missions trip I went on, I was 60. So I started off going on mission trips at the age of 60, and which included also in there 3 times to Cambodia and once to Fiji.
Yeah. Wow. That's amazing. Well, thank you, Daphne.
Thank you.